information has to be spoke. Gotta keep it, you know. People not up early in the morning. I don't know what go on today though. There are people in some army team, blood. Crazy. Yeah, boy. Where's all them, the early birds, the early people them? A lot of people going to church and all them places there. Easy's about just kicking that knowledge, man. Get it. Stay tuned as well, because it's going to be a big convo I'm going to have live as well. So it's going to be a lot for the people that's about that information. It's all about the building, you know. Build good communications, the positive energies, and then creating solutions for people that's in disease or social, mental problems, you know. So hopefully I can provide that on my platform, you know. That's what my platform is about. Eazi Herbs, you know. You're gonna find all different types of dialogues on that channel. Make sure you follow, like and subscribe, you know. He's got the purple, so I don't talk it, I live it. That's how we have to maintain, you know. It's more than this, the fact of teaching something. We have to be living by it, you know. Live by example. Because we're trying to generate a whole new breed of youth. They move more in an example following than someone preaching, you know. That's what we have to be implementing more. Whatever positivity that we talk about, we have to input that in our lifestyle. Make that about what you are, you know. So a lot of people out here are contradictory, you know, living life, not practicing what they preach. So Easy's gonna try to push a little bit more harder with the content and the conversations, you know. Hopefully we can get good people on my platform that can speak out, you know. Same type of energy and all that, 'cause that's what I want. Don't want people with negative energy that's gonna throw out the conversation, having pointless conversations. People are just listening to respond, not listening to understand. You know? It's not about that type of environment, especially when you start getting older, you know. You ain't got time for all of that debate tactics, you know. Easy's not a debater like that, you know. I can be quick to debate. I'm quick on my game, you know. But Easy's not here to just be debating. I don't even like debating. I like having conversations, you know, where we can teach each other. If I don't know, I'll be quick to tell you that I don't know. I don't want to have it all ego based, you know, where I'm going to start making up stuff. So you're going to see fruitful conversations. Hopefully we can have a fruitful conversation today. This is what I'm patterning up now, so just make sure you stay in tune, stay locked in, because when I get back on live, conversation with a brother, it's going to be powerful today, you know. Just getting closer to that time and we're going to be getting it popping. Make sure, just trying to just warm it up, see who's on live, who's up at these times, you know. People need to be getting up, tweaking their CMOSs, start thinking about going for a jog, you know, things like that. Discipline is one of them, kind of like blowing up the views on my Instagram. I I demand them our discipline and etc, bro. Discipline ain't just the fact that we just show up and move together. Discipline is in our lively dailyhood, you know. That's discipline. Discipline is one of the hardest things to conquer, you know, because it's all about yourself. It's self-control. That's like the hardest thing. But yeah, hopefully we can get straight into this convo, you know. But yeah, yep. So this is how we're gonna do, yeah. So if all the family is in, you're definitely staying tuned for this convo that I have with you, yeah. So salute, I'm gonna add my brother in. Gonna talk about it. Definitely gonna talk about it.
Yes, peace, my brother.
Yeah, my brother. Let me turn you up. Let me hear you again.
Yeah, can you see me, my bro?
Yeah, I can see you clearly, and
You
I
can hear
can
me as
hear
well.
you clearly, man.
Yeah,
How you do?
yeah.
How you doing, my brother?
I'm good, my good brother. I'm good. And thank you for connecting. And I know you want to share some information, and we're trying to, link up and do something together, discussing, spirituality, lifestyle, culture, anything that this was life, you know. And you was talking about discipline, and and this is the ultimate, you see, to us this is like the ultimate mission. It's like what you just say, discipline. And how can we get ourselves to a place where we actually know what we do, and also the things that we do that we actually telling ourselves that we want to do. So basically, and this is I've been working on for years, man, on discipline. And this is one of the things I feel personally, as you say, the ultimate mission is that discipline. Sometimes when people use the word discipline, it has like a negative connotation to it, because some people said, "Oh, discipline means I can't do this, I cannot do that, I cannot do this." So it feels like religious sometimes for some
Yeah,
people. You
yeah.
see? And it also feel like people feel restricted in in when it comes to the word discipline. I think even it's always important to really, when we speak any word that comes from our mouths, just really important to understand what the word means, because most of the time we don't know what the word means. So our association with that word sometimes it does not really mean what we really want to say, and
Mm,
and some people get misunderstood. Words can be changed to become something else, or people, you say one thing, in my head it might mean totally different things. So personally, on discipline, I think I've been in health, spirituality, I've been researching, studying quite for some times now. And we always get deviated, like in this world, we get always deviated from ourselves. And every business that's out there that you see, it's like, how far can it take you away from yourself so that they can benefit in that process? You see,
that's all
and
fact.
I'm si-
That's
yeah,
facts. I think you know what, Eazi, you just jumped straight in there. I'm glad you jumped in there because it just brought the energy. Like, obviously, you need that. I need to have that introduction, yeah. And because obviously I'm very observant on what I do, yeah. Like I want to explain to my audience exactly how we even got to the point that we're even having a conversation today. And it didn't take much. It didn't take much, not at all. It's like the first time I come into your shop, cause I'm all the way from East London, you know.
right.
Obviously, my organization is kind of based in Brixton, so I'm there, and I kind of like king my culture anyway, you know. So I'm there about this health, going through the market stalls, and I noticed your shop, You know what I'm saying? I noticed the shop. So I thought, yeah. And then looking past it, I'm seeing all the symbols, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm like, because I already know, because of my transitioning and my school of thought, I have access to all the surroundings that are out there, especially within the black community. So I already knew what style of thought that shop was bringing in, and
Mm.
it's like a school of thought of knowledge, you know, of African history. So that's what kind of attracted me to your store, because you have
Mm.
a very energetic store. You know, your store like brings in a vibration. A lot of herbal shops do that in general, but with your shop bringing in nature with history, I think that's a powerful combination,
Mm.
especially when it comes to African people, because it's a form. It's basically it's spirituality. It's our spirituality, because now we're mixing science with nature and history
Right.
and culture. Culture. You're bringing the culture into your shop. You're bringing the science into your shop, and you're bringing the nature, the observation of nature and what we can utilize in nature to
Mm-hmm.
become our remedy. So this is how I met you, because I see the shop, I observed it, and I felt how powerful this. This must be a powerful person to create an environment like this. It connects all the dots. It makes sense, you know. And I think everyone that goes into your store would get this type of embracement or this energy from your store. And this
Mm.
is where I entered it. I started observing even looking at what type of supplements or or herbs, or how you lay it down into your shop. I can see you already have this knowledge, because there's a lot of shops that just deal with fruits and don't have herbs, or don't have the seaweed. I don't have fungi. And then what your shop has projected to me, and my observation of your shop, is that you bring that all together. So
Mm.
you have not let down not one part of nature, and it shows that the knowledge that you implement in your shop, it just shows me that I have to be involved or listen to your intellect, because this is where I'm coming from. But it's just that
Yeah.
I don't have that, and this is very to me that's very inspiring for one, and that's my introduction of me speaking to you today. So I want you to expound on yourself, who you are, what you represent, what you do as a community thing, because you do bigger things. You know, you do big things, bro. And I definitely want you to shout out yourself to my audience, because I want my people to be aware that this is actually out here, especially in
Mm.
UK. You know, so I want you to do that. That's my introduction of how I met you. I want you to expand a little bit more of what you do and what you sell, and yeah, and how you come together with this whole amazing ideology and philosophy.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you for that, my brother, for noticing the work that we put in for years, insofar as how is the work, the store is concerned. However, I'm just one of the tools. I have group of teams and also predecessors that was there before, that we always have to acknowledge, that has also put the work in for me to be able to come through and to allow me to express myself. You see, so in the evolution of the store, it opens in 1996 originally. So I personally was searching for spiritual science, for spiritual knowledge, since I was quite young. And that store I found, it used to be a bookshop originally. So I used to go there and purchase books, but some of the books were so expensive, I couldn't afford it at that time. So, and they always needed somebody to volunteer. So I actually volunteered in the store for 3 years when it was a bookstore. So the knowledge, the spiritual science of our ancestors, universal knowledge, historical knowledge, cultural knowledge, uh, is what I started with originally. So I was never into health. I looked after myself, I ate good food, etc. But I was never indulgent into health at all. So I was more interested in the spiritual science of ancient Kemet, as well as all the cultures that you find throughout the world. So I was interested in that. So that's my background originally. And as we moved on, 2012, I took over the store. So, the brothers that was around, there was some type of, challenges that we was going through at that time. We sold only books. And we were like an island when it comes to that type of knowledge. In those days, people was not interested as today, So people were not interested. So they were not allowed people coming through the door. So we have to take money from our own pocket and pay the rent. So for years we was doing that just to make sure to maintain the store. So there were brothers in that capacity, big up Kojo, Minister Rebel, they were around as a solid brothers that was making sure, rent was paid just to maintain this type of store for us. So we were like an island when it comes to the communities. They was calling us, people were calling us, was doing voodoos and stuff like that. It was quite funny, how time has changed in 2023, where everybody, is into this type of lifestyle. So I personally feel that is my background in so far as the store is concerned and what we're building is I'm just one of, I want to make it clear that, I didn't just start it like that. I just make it evolve to another level, way another level than it was before, based on the knowledge and information what I've gathered, and I just took it to another level. And it's really made me proud to see the brothers also supporting me in this process. And they said, yo, this is the way forward. Whatever you need, we're here for you, So that's the type of brothers I was working with, that I'm still around with, that are, that actually pave the way for me. So my name is Ned. I'm originally from, East Africa, Ethiopia. Lived most of my life in Brixton. All those ends, as you can think of, Mansfield, Brixton Hill, and also around Brixton most of my life. So, but my interest really was the community development. I was more interested in my life to see people in the better places, mentally, physically, as well as financially. So this is where I really thrive as an individual person. I like us to develop and grow. I like just to be served. Doesn't necessarily have to be by me, but by way of what we call math, the principles of truth, justice, equality, balancement. So that is the principle I was always standing. So when we did our business, any type of business structure, math was always there. We never played people. We never sold people stuff that we know is not good for them.
Wow.
We never sold product that we know is going to harm a person or anything like that. We always looking for things that people want and that we have it for you. So that is what we was presented. We have something for you. You buy it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. It's cool. It doesn't mean we're going to starve. It doesn't mean we're going to be struggling.
Well, I'm breaking up for that.
This community environment. So we was representing love and community environment where people can come and get what they need to heal themselves. So we have seen excellent work that we've seen. People are healing themselves from all sorts of diseases. From cancer, from diabetes, blood pressure, prostate. These are the people that tell us that, oh, they've been diagnosed with this, now they don't have that anymore. And they come and they say, thank you for healing me. We say, no, it's not us that's healing you. You are healing yourself. You follow the instruction, you vision yourself where you want to be, and you are willing to do the work. And you did that and you healed yourself. We're just facilitating an environment where you can come in and then give you the knowledge that you need so that you can heal yourself. So the idea of our store is to make our communities healers themselves. We want them to be their own doctors. We want them to be their own shaman. We want them to be their businessman or woman. So we want them to be self-sufficient. And that is the key for our transformation, for our healing. So our business structure it's not really based on European ways of living.
Yeah.
Our business structure is done in a way that can, when people are coming through the door, they work on themselves. You know, you can't be coming, working in the store and acting this way or that way, or you have to be doing this and doing that. So it's requested from us for people to develop so that when other people come through, you know, we don't have altercation. We don't have, you know, other things that we don't have to deal with, which is this animalistic nature. If that happens, then we always say, okay, you need to work on yourself on this. Because the person is like that, it doesn't mean you have to respond to this person this way. So a person that's working with me are always learning and transforming day by day. You know, because we always been challenged on a different circumstances are working on the store to learn from other people's insecurities, pain, traumas. That's why people come through the door. So we created a structure in which we be able to receive this person and the person feels comfortable to open up themselves and express what their concerns are. And what I found out most of the time, our health issues, it's not really physical. It's all mental. It's all spiritual. It's all childhood traumas. Some type of, you know, social deprivation. We are deprived socially to be who we're supposed to be. So most of the diseases comes really from the spiritual and mental side of things rather than physical. This is what I found out. And then we do something to hide the trauma, to hide the pain, you see.
Yeah.
And in that process, the body gets damaged.
I agree
in that process,
with that.
You want to elaborate on that?
No, definitely. I think, you know what it is? You're definitely expounding exactly. It's like I'm listening to myself, but not saying the same thing, you know? So I'm just letting you run. I'm definitely letting you run because you're basically that's what it's a little bit so like amazing where I can have conversations with people and they basically have a different way of saying something, and I'm just hearing myself in what you're saying. It's just that I'm gonna expound in how you're saying it in a different way, and that's all. And this is very important because not everyone's gonna see it or listen to it or understand it in the way that I can break it down. You know, because I like breaking down it in a little bit more of a biochemistry way. And a lot of people are not even on that level. That's why a lot of my stuff, it goes over people's heads. So that's why I like to introduce people that have this knowledge, but they can break it in a different way. And then this is where we can like gather up more information.
Yeah.
And then the people that are seeking to go to that route, and they have that opportunity. It's the same how you explain about how your shop is. You're providing all the knowledge that is there for them to be able to access. And that's the thing. You have to be, like I was talking about being disciplined, you have to want to seek the knowledge to actually have it excelled in your physical. You know, like you were saying, everything is mental. And then when things are mental, you will correspond with certain dietary. And then when you correspond with certain dietary, this is what causes the problems that you're so definitely expound on that.
So I'm just seeing those experiences quite a lot. Our communities have been deprived of on many different type of things. Such, you know, as I said, you know, definitely the spiritual side of it is in the mental side of it is something that we have a lot of pain when it comes to that. That's got to do with different things, such as, you know, epigenetics, people call that, as well as lifestyle is concerned. So we don't have any type of structure because the system that we live in has a specific point of view of life that they want us to accept, or we have accepted, you see. You know, and that is one of the biggest challenge, because if for example, the Western world, the Western science tell us that we can only live once, because the concept comes that the universe come by accident. So this is what they teach us in the universities. Universities, when you go to your hospitals, when you go to many places of institutions, they have already accepted this narrative that the universe came by accident, what they call a Big Bang theory, right? So they accepted that, and they say that, and then things are evolving in such a way, and our consciousness, our body, our mind is just the mechanic of the physical body. So
Okay.
anything that happens within our vision, our dreams, everything happens because we have this body. If you don't have this body, all those things don't exist.
Yeah.
So this is what they teach us. So when you go to hospitals now, when they say, for example, oh, you got this problems with your legs or something. Oh, we can cut this off, and now we're going to replace it with titanium or any type of metals in your body.
Yeah.
The reason they do that is because they accepted this type of theory first.
Okay.
And they work based on those concepts to say that the body is just a human body. So it's just a body. It has no spiritual side of it. It has nothing got to do with the soul. The body, they don't believe in the immortality of the soul, that your essence will live forever or live on. So they don't accept none of this stuff. So when you go to the hospitals, there's nothing that deals with spirituality. The doctors, before they open you up, they don't pray. They say, please ask me for guidance so that I can make, let me be guided to make the right decision in the surgery process. They don't, maybe a Christian person might have that kind of view as a doctor, but they have also bipolar mentality because they accept the Big Bang theory on one side, and then on another side, as a doctor or a surgeon, they accept also the creation story of the biblical story, how God and man was created, if they're Christians or if they come from a Muslim point of view. So they are already having a diversified mind or polarized mind when it comes to life itself. So that is one of the misconceptions that we have received. So based on those concepts, they always act upon many things that's happening throughout the world. So that is one of the foundations that we accept by default living in this type of society. You see? So you have the philosophers like, Carl Jung and, what Newton's and Freud, their teachings still prevail to this day. When somebody says, when somebody says, oh, I'm doing a shadow work, that term can go back to one of those philosophers back then. You see? So when any word that we use scientifically, it goes always back to those characters who have given us a concept of life or idea of life that we follow today, and it sprinkles down from those scientific communities into the public by way of education, by way of influence, in so far as books, TV shows, etc., etc. It's sprinkled down into our communities, and then we use those type of knowledge in a form of, as a form of fact, and then we act upon these things. So, for example, the diet, oh, you have to eat this type of food, this is good for you. And all this type of teachings has origination from somewhere. And this is what I found out is one of the mysteries and things are really, humbles me to find out is this concept that we are the pro-creators of this reality. This concept that we are co-creators of this reality. So whatever happens in this world, we are co-creators with it. So the way we think, the way we live, whatever we accept in our mind's eye and whatever we put in our heart, it becomes our reality. So some people know this science, they know this fact that this universe is mental. Everything started with mental, as they say. The ancient Egyptian wisdom says that everything started with the mind. And then this mental higher frequency of vibration start to vibrate down into the energetic form, and then it starts to vibrate down into this physical matter. So it's the same thing, but it's just dense form of physical vibration. That's all there is to it. But everything is mind. So whatever we accept in our mind's eye, it becomes our reality.
No, I agree with that, 100%. And do you know what it is with that? That's why history and health and nature has to be combined, spirituality as well. And this is what the missing point that you're making, because obviously you know that all of the scientists and all these theories as well, it's like an interpretation of what they have studied of African philosophy. Because like you said about finding the root, of the Western society's words. You can find the etymology, and we go back, you probably end up in Latin or Greek, and we know where the Latin and Greek invested their information in. You know, like the great the Library of Alexandria in ancient Kemet. So you can find that they have like their foundation of what we consider as Western knowledge in African systems. But what they've done is come up with their own interpretation through not understanding African philosophy in the African way, and created the systems out of what they could understand.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
obviously they don't combine the science with nature. And if you deal with any papyri in ancient Kemet, when we deal with like the operations or even dealing with bacteria and how they cleanse themselves, and one of the oldest papyri with the medical papyri is always scientific experiments or scientific knowledge with spirituality. They never separated them. You know,
Yeah,
and like you were saying, how when it comes to this Western approach, is that they only deal with the scientific method and leave out the spirituality. And the
yeah,
energy that comes with the spirituality could vibrate in the way that you can perform in your actual physical realm. Like you keep on saying, is you have to they leave out the physical with the spiritual, and that's what I think that that's what I think is very fundamental when you deal with African philosophy, you know. And
yeah,
I definitely agree with that, because when we deal with the science in the Western worlds, they don't deal with like cure based. I won't say like cure based in a way that they would they will try to cut off your leg, for example, for a a virus tumor, but they don't give you the information that if you don't, if you need to stop this dietary that implemented this tumor to proliferate in the first place, they won't give you that information. They will tell you that, oh yeah, they will give you a time expand of how long you should live, but doesn't give you the 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 what best way I can say, they won't provide you the
quickly.
information that can help prevent it
Yeah,
for it to not exist as a cure,
yeah,
you know. So I, I do believe that with this Western society, some of a lot of the scientific methods come from ancient philosophy that they interpreted and they run off with, try to create it like it's their
yeah,
that they're the creators and they're the foundation of. But it's this misinterpretation of African
yeah,
spirituality, and I reckon 100% that when it comes to the science nowadays, everything is now a business. They don't want to try to give you something that you can always get from nature, which is free. They'd rather give you something that you have to pay for, and
yeah,
then what you're gonna end up needing for,
yeah,
what you're gonna end up being addicted to, you know, like,
yeah,
and this is where it keeps their money going. This is what keeps their purpose, because they don't have no purpose. In the
yeah,
Western society, they had to flee from Africa continent for their purpose. They had to utilize African slave trade to even thrive in their economic.
yeah.
Because other than that, in their land hold, there's nothing there for them, you know?
Victor. If I can add on those experiential level of this concept that you actually saying, for example, is I had this patient. She's 18 years old, and she had on top of her on top of our kidney we have our pancreas. Just next to it, she had this tumor that's growing out of it. So her mom's looking for a solution, and then like everything else, people looking for solution, and then she just saw the store. She come to the store. She asked me, "Oh, my daughter's got this tumor, and they plan to operate on her within 4 months." And they gave her the date, and then she said, "What can you do? What can we do for her?" So I told her the best thing to do is to have a consultation, and she was only 18 years old. So we actually had a initial consultation with her. I did a consultation with her, and we have like a list of questionnaires we ask before. But when I saw her, she looks very healthy to me. I don't see any type of, and she looked like she's come from a strong African, stock
Mm.
DNA where you feel this energy and this health in her. So I'm telling to myself, how the hell did you get that? How the hell did you have this tumor? So we went through this questionnaires, and one of the questions that we asked is if she had a contraception.
Okay.
So she had an implanted contraception, and we know years before that contraception is one of the worst things that a woman can put in her body. Imagine that contraception is telling the woman not to ovulate, not for the imagine that what type of things that this hormones imbalance that causes in her body, to the point where it has caused a tumor on top of her pancreas and next to her kidney. So we in the consultation, and then we told her just go to the hospital next day and tell them you have a suicide tendencies. Sometimes this conception also causes a suicide tendencies in females. So, and they know this. And when she told them that, they just took it off next day.
Wow.
And that we gave her some, blood cleanser teas. That's very good for. It has sarsaparilla, burdock, dandelion.
Yeah.
It has yellow dog root. It has many different herbal ingredients that's good for cleansing the blood, the kidney, and the liver, the pancreas, the arteries, and the vein of our body. So she took that for about a month and a half, and then when she went for initial check to see the state of the tumor, they say it disappeared.
Wow.
Yeah, they say that the tumor disappeared. They say they cannot find it, so they cannot operate on her. And then her mom came back to say thank you for this, thank you for that. And I'm just trying to express to her mom and say, it's the love. She was a perfectly fine girl. She was just want to have a good time and not want to have birth. You see, when I talk about lifestyle, mentality, so all she wanted was to have a lifestyle where she doesn't want to get pregnant. So in that process, she accepted a Western concept of solution for contraception. She implanted something in her body that really messes the whole system, especially the endocrine system, how the chemicals get released in the body, how the system works on those intricate level, on a deeper level. So it was messing her up. So once you remove that and then she starts cleaning herself, things becomes normal again. But we accept a concept when we were told, oh, take this, take that. It does not always necessarily mean it's good for everybody. It's good for every race.
Wow.
You see, they might have tested it on one particular race and they said, okay, it works for a specific race. But it might not work for every race that's in the world. So if they open it up and she still have the contraception, they will literally scrape it off, or they will cut it off, or they will burn it off. And then what will happen is that it was still going to grow up again, because she still have the primary cause. I think this is what you were saying earlier on. They never tackled the primary cause of the issue. They always trying to give the solution for what is present at that moment, but they will never go back to the primary cause of the problems. And this is where a lot of our communities die in hospital or have further consequences based on other advice that they have taken, or other action that they have taken based on advice from the doctors, who generally might be doing good work according to themselves, but that's what's been given to them. That's what the procedure or the instruction they follow based on what they've been dictated and educated to. So they've been educated and they've been dictated to follow something. That's what education is. And dictation. You've been dictated to, they edit something and then you have to be dictated to follow that. And then once you follow what they say, you have an exam, and once you pass the exam, now you can go out and do the things that they told you to do. You see? So a lot of doctors, surgeons, they follow this type of procedures in healing people or in helping people according to what they have learned, you see. And remember, these people go to higher universities, education environment, where they feel this is the ultimate. What else can I learn? This is the ultimate things that I've received. So this is what I follow. There's nothing else. And then they have demonized African culture. They have demonized African doctors, and they call them bush doctors. It's very demonized word. Why would you call somebody a bush doctor? You see, they trying to take away the value of these healers they come with. You see, so the Western narrative, the Western culture, the scientific communities, how they operate on things when it comes to, you know, healing people, it's always been protected by taboo. You know, you cannot go outside our domain and trying to heal using other system. No, you cannot do that. You know, Chinese medicine, yes, a medicine. We don't accept it to be as efficient as ours, but we still call it a Chinese medicine.
Wow.
Ayurvedic medicine is still, it's a medicine, it's an ancient Indian medicine, but it's not been accepted the way we have our Western medicine. Our Western medicine is way further advanced than any other communities, sciences who have practiced these things for thousands of years. So as you said earlier on, most of these communities, you know, have financial interests. A lot of companies who are invested into this medicine, into this hospital, into this education system, have their financial interest in those businesses, as well as doctors. You can buy a doctor that can say anything that you want to hear from. So I can buy a doctor. In another word, I can employ a doctor in my business world. I can tell him, okay, say this, say this, say this to the world, and he will say exactly what I say.
Yeah. You
just pay him for that. How comes Bill Gates, he's a computer nerd. He's not a scientist. He's not genetics. But he stands in a world, you know, platform. He's telling people how genetic works.
Yeah. The COVID thing, yeah.
You don't have, you know, how the hell do you talk about this if you never study these things? But you know that he can buy any doctors. He can buy any scientist and say, okay, come, show me how that works. I don't have to go and study for 15 years. Show me how to fly this airplane. I don't have to go and sit down and learn a theory. You see, that's what a lot of rich people, that's what they do. You pay for education, for knowledge, to have some type of understanding. But in this world, there is always money involved. Hence finance becomes the god of this world.
Yeah.
Everybody is doing something for money. You know, people will sell you out for money. People will kill people for money. People will poison for money. People will do anything for money. And this is where you have to understand and understand that finance equals whatever that's in this world, people doing every day. And this is where challenges that we have when people are coming through our door. We say, it's not about the money. Don't even buy nothing. Just leave. It's like, it's all good. Like, in fact, we'll give it this for you for free. Just take this and go. Just, you know what I mean? So we have this concept where we don't represent that. Obviously we need to pay rent. We need to have some system in place. However, we don't worship it to the point where we have to lie. You see, this is where a lot of the doctors, scientists are lying to us constantly lying to us because they are in the pocket of a corporation companies. Period. They are in a pocket of corporation companies. They've been told to do and say what they've been instructed to do. A lot of those doctors and scientists, especially in universities, they don't have no money. They're poor. They have ideas. Okay, I have this idea. Where can I get money to make this happen? A military can sponsor you. A multi-million company will sponsor your work. But not for sure, all your work belongs to the company. It doesn't belong to you. You see, and you can get your Nobel Prize, but the invention, stuff like that, belongs to the company because we're the one that spent 25 million pounds or dollars for this project. So, so all the money goes to this type of communities and companies. And little do we know that when these scientists come and say, oh, it's been scientifically proven, once they say this word, anything that comes after that, we accept what they say.
You know what it is though? It's like exactly what you're saying is 100% agreeable. Like, but the thing is like we come the worst representation of exactly what you're saying. So when we're talking about the Western world and the Western concept, we come the best Western man now. We come the best Negropean. We come the best. We come better than a white man, than the white man. That's what our community has come to now.
Yeah.
So it's like, even up to the fact when you were expressing about you don't your shop, you facilitate, it's not even about money. Yeah, you're like one of the I haven't been around, but for me to even have a conversation with someone in your position, it's very hard because people don't have that passion or that concept that you have. That's why when I spoke to you, I gravitated to you, and I already just I knew the environment is going to be something beautiful because there's not a lot of people that think the same way that me and you do. What about information? So even it doesn't have to cost nothing. Like I'll be willing to come to your platform. The same way that you're willing to jump straight onto my platform. And I don't think, but then us as black people, we come worse than the white man. Everyone's on that ride. It's sad, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
So it's like we come our own worst enemy. And I think if we inspire more conversations like what me and you do, it may trigger something in some of these type of mindset in people to think, bro, it's not just about money, it's not about business. We can thrive, but are we actually herbalists just to make money, or we are herbalists to help our community? You know what I'm saying? And I think the only way that we can make things like that change in any shape or form is for them to see people like me and you are talking and interacting. I don't have a business like you. I don't have like, you know what I'm saying? Because
it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
To me, it's not about the business.
Yeah.
To me, it's not a big deal, bro. It's not about anything. It's all about that inner divine that's in our heart, that's in me and it's in you and everybody else. That's what it's all about ultimately. Business come and go. This physical body comes and go. Why do we hold on to things like that? We don't value. I don't want to be valued because I have a business. Because in my heart, that means it doesn't mean a lot to me. I'll be honest with you. It means a lot to me because it helps people. You see, technically, if we want to make business, we can make money like in a different way. Like there's so much things to do in 2023. But I don't want to waste my time, my heart, and my energy to something I know I don't value.
Yeah.
You see, it's not about that. If people asking me to open a business in East London, somebody have to run it. If you're interested, if you want to sacrifice your time and energy, and you are willing to take it there, it's not a big deal, my good brother. It's not a big deal. To me, it's like we always be lonely. There are some communities that's around me. You know, Big Up Richie's actually joined it. We have communities who are actually coming and doing the work with the heart that I'm talking about. I have people around me like that. No, for sure. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here talking to you. So I have people around me who intentionally wants to make things happen. We are starving of people like yourself, my brother, to get people so that we can create a system and structure where we can grow and show people, not just talking, living it. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is life I'm talking about. I'm not talking about some type of show. I'm talking about my life, your life, our children's life. You know, our family's life, our auntie's life, our cousin's life. That's what I'm talking about. Ultimately, everything leads back to ourselves. Ultimately, everything leads back to our soul. And that's the only thing we take back to the spirit world. And we know the immortality of the soul. We will live on after this physical reality. We will live on. So there's nothing we should hold on to anything anyway. You see? There's nothing we should hold on to anything anyway. And we should not judge people because they have money, because they have businesses. We should not respect them for that reason. Imagine that I have a restaurant. I sell nice, lovely chicken, lamb. I cook all the stuff and sell it to people for 15 years. Now imagine how many animals have to go through my door for me to be rich. Like how much animals have to be sacrificed for me to have money in my bank so that I can, you know, that business is not necessity. Having a restaurant where I feed people meat, all those animals, it's not necessity. You see? So somebody makes so much money from it, then look, imagine how much animals have to go through his door or her door to make that money. So is it worth doing it? Is it worth living? You see, everybody's to his own. I'm not disrespecting. I'm not trying to bring people down who have those type of businesses. Everybody's on the level that they're in. But when it comes to a spiritual work, when it comes to our freedom our liberation, right? You know, the things that comes first is what we put in our heart.
Wow.
What we put in our heart comes first. And that is what we call discipline. We talk about structure. You know, people come first rather than money or your service. People come first. You look after them first. Their heart, their life, what they need comes first rather than you using them so that you can make money. And this is the world we live right now. You know, I went to this place one day. I bought something. They said, was it made today? The person said, yep, it was made today. I purchased it. Next day it went off. And that was the last probably things that I purchased that day. In essence, people will lie to you to sell even expired food that they know is bloody expired. But just to lose £5, they have to lie to you. Just because that costs £5, they have to lie to you to make that £5 out of you because they don't want this bloody food to expire. Or it's already nearly expired. You see? So man is lying their life out for £5, my bro. People will sell you out for £5. So when I talk about money is God, people, this is how they made the system like that. The system was created, we live in the system, and the God of that system is money. So everybody's doing their best to get that. And some people say by any means necessary. And if you accept that we only live once, on top of that, then you already accepted an idea that, okay, since I want to live once, well, I might as well do the best I can. If I lie to this person, there's no consequences to that. This is how the Western world is constructed, based on the concept of the Big Bang Theory, that everything comes by an accident. There's no God that created it. And the universities, they don't talk, who created the universe? They don't say God. They don't say intelligence, force, or a being, or an entity who might reside outside this universe, outside this time zone. They don't talk about that. They're saying that it came by accident. So because of this concept, we already accepted a lifestyle that fits that type of theory.
I agree that. I agree with 100%. You know what it is? It's like a lot of people don't know that. It's like what you're saying it suits to the teeth of exactly what's going on and the mindset of a lot of people, you know, and especially with our youth as well. You know, that's the reason why they're going out, they're carrying these knives, they're stabbing each other, and they don't care because they constructed in a way that it's like it's nothing. And the thing is, especially with the black youth as well, being under attack in so many ways, but all other ethnic groups, is just the extra add-on pressure that divides in the cortex. You know what I'm saying? That implements in the way they move. They move in survival mode. They live like that every day. They've been taught like that, and they've been shown by that by every other ethnic group on society. So it's that extra pressure, but you know, and it takes. But the thing is, it takes like solutions is what we deal with. We provide solutions in the shop. What I do is we talk. I'm part of an organization that deals with solutions that helps out with the youth. My life experience I express to the youth, and we all do about solutions. I think even us coming together is a form of solution, and I think we need to implement that to the teeth. We cannot stop from here. So even if it is with me, or you have a conversation with someone else, or I have a conversation with someone else, it still bridges a whole unity that we need to create, and we need to. This has to be. It's like watching podcasts nowadays, that are blowing. Yeah, a lot of people bring celebrities on, and you know what I mean. People that's gonna. Okay, yeah, I agree. Wherever you took you to get to that level, I salute that path. Yeah, but what I'm trying to say with us now, we have to create our own lane. You know. So like your radio station, I want you to shout that out on my platform and everything, because we want to actually bring our own lane that I want to be a part of, because I'm not a rapper, so I can't be a part of that podcast, like, you know what I mean, where that celebrity type environment. I'm not that. I'm not even like a public revolutionary speaker. I'm behind that, but I'm not a public so I'm just like in a lane that I want to embrace. I want to see it hit the height that is needed. Because if you You know what I'm saying? Because you don't see that. We don't have one in
Yeah,
UK, Britain. Like unless you can provide me where a group of herbalist, genuine people come together and have a conversation.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Because
see it.
it's not easy because as I said, bro, it's like it's the finance is always the driving force in our
Yeah,
heart.
yeah,
It's what we put in our heart. Like what is that's what I'm asking everybody, like even here as the listeners, what is the things that you put in your heart? Whatever you put in your heart is what drives you. And whatever you put in your heart is the type of spirit also that connects with you. So whatever you put, if it's lust, then there is a spirit of lust that will drive your life. If it's money, there is a spirit of money that drives your life. And all you can see is the end result of whatever you do is finance, you see. And then at the end of the day, somebody comes and said, oh, let me represent what I have. Look what I sell for you. Somebody will come and show you, and then you talk about certain things, and at the end they said, oh, look what I have, buy this for me. That's the type of conversation you end up with most of the time because that's what they put in their heart. So I'm always saying it's like you have to tear out anything that's in your heart that does not represent eternity.
crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
anything that doesn't represent eternity, forever living. That's why in ancient time we wear gold because gold it doesn't tarnish.
Yeah,
You see, gold
yeah.
doesn't tarnish. So your heart shouldn't be tarnished by anything that's physical. So attachment to this reality, to anything, attachments to this reality, anything is what we call that what kills us, what destroys us. So whatever we put in our heart, we have to tear it apart and remove it and replace it with that something that's eternity. You see, have a heart, we call it the heart of gold that is forever living. So in ancient time, we always loved something that lasts forever. Like
Oh, okay,
honey doesn't expire. So the pharaohs took it with them. It didn't. That
right.
honey doesn't
Okay,
expire. Gold doesn't
okay.
tarnish. So they put themselves, you know, they modify themselves with gold to represent. You know what? Even though we're physically dead, well, we will still live forever on.
Right.
You know.
Let me
So
add on to
that
that. Let me definitely add on to that because definitely with that concept because like yeah with the Western society it's like we're dead, we're gone. Yeah, with ancient Egyptian philosophy is like even up to their names and why they put things in the middle lecture on the walls and they put their names in was it I don't want to say
cartoon,
cartridges. I
cartoon.
want to it's called a shanu. I think it's called a
Mm,
shanu or the shin. Yeah, because they believe that we even up to now we speak about their philosophy, their civilization that lasted about five. It shows that our culture is about living on for
yeah.
life, eternity. We want to speak our name. A lot of people are living right now. They don't care if they die. They don't care what happens. They don't want to even be a contribution to society. You know what I mean? To,
Mm,
for me, like for me personally, I don't want to. I don't want to leave this planet unless I don't want to leave this planet and there's nothing that I have represented in my life on this earth can be displayed in years to come. I don't want it to be forgotten in another way. You know what I mean? The best way I can
mm,
put it. Like, and I think that's what African spirituality, they don't want you to forget. You know, that's why they even call upon ancestors. You can still call upon your best ancestor because speaking their name is reminiscent of them being still alive,
right.
them still able to help you and guide you.
Mm,
So that's all. But when we don't want to even, and that's what I wanted to add on with the whole philosophy of African mindset and how they verify the afterlife and resurrect. No, to the afterlife. So yeah, definitely add on.
yeah.
I kind of put it.
I'm with you, brother. I think personally, we there's a lot of projects that we can, we can even change so much things in our communities. And one thing we have to do is just we don't have to accept anything or anybody with with the intention of something else. This is where things takes time. Things takes time because we don't want to, work with certain energies that we know the end goal is something else than what we want to achieve.
Yeah.
You see, so when the end goal is not right, with the person, we go into different direction. You see, we go into different direction. Doesn't mean the person is bad. It's just the person is just misled to end up in what we call a dead end. So we have a lot of dead end in the society. They know that. It's a dead end. That road that you've taken is a dead end. There's no way. There's nothing that's beyond that. You see. So this is what I've seen also some of our communities, when they're trying to heal, they go out in the world. They say, Nep, I'm going to travel for 3 months. I want to go for different countries trying to find myself. I'm like, listen, you're going to spend thousands of money going to different countries trying to find yourself by going away from the place that you were born or from the environment, the circle that you're in, by going away from that. The only thing you do is spending your money, and by the time you come back, it's like you have nothing has changed to you. And that seems to be the case when we're trying to go away from ourselves, when we're trying to run away from our own responsibilities. And some of our responsibilities varies depending on the levels of the beings that's on this planet, because everybody's not the same. This is the thing that we have to understand. You have different type of creatures. I use the word literally. We have different type of creatures walking and roaming this planet in human body. And everybody have different tendencies, different type of life experience, different type of reincarnations. We're just using the same platform, which is the human body, the human consciousness. But in reality, we are so different from each other. You see, and so far as experience is concerned. So when you trying to value another brother or another person by your standard, we always end up being wrong, because your standard doesn't mean the standard of the planet. It doesn't mean the standard of everybody. In fact, your standard is danger to some. Now let's stop this guy. What he's doing is not right, because he's interfering with our things that we're trying to achieve. You see. So he's waking up. So this is what happened to many leaders who came down. When they're trying to say something, when trying to change the minds of people, you see, they said, no, he can't be doing that. If he gets 50,000 followers like that, generally they come put together like that, financially, mentally, and physically and spiritually, that's a danger. So there's a power in collective. So I think you are in a good position, my good brother, to get the younger generation, to gather younger generation. I'm talking about, having a new studio. Like we have to have a studio, music that represents, anything that this was like. But at the same time, you can talk about music, you can sing, you can rap in a way that seems aggressive or bad, but it's dealing with the challenges and the issues that we have. I've seen this little boy got arrested by a police, and when they search him, he had a knife that goes all the way down. That's the little boy right there. That's like, he was like 16. And then he had a knife that's half of his size in his body. And when you look at his eyes, he's just scared. He's just scared of something.
Yeah.
He feels like he's trying to protect himself from something. He doesn't look like a criminal. He doesn't look like a drug dealer. He goes home to eat food. I know he's got mommy. He looks like he's got mommy because he dressed really well. He has to get that money from somewhere, and it doesn't look like a drug dealer. So why would he have this big knife in his body? And then he's probably going to get 5 years in prison after that. He's in what they call young offender institution for 5 years, and then he will learn more crime in those places than being on the street. And what is the dynamic of our communities right now? What type of message do our children will need? You see, and we need to spend money on this type of projects. We don't want no money from the government. That money will be poison. It will devalue that is in our heart. When we're trying to do something, we have to invest. We have to bring from our own pocket, invest in this type of things. Spend the money to help to show a different aspect of our communities. You can play a big part in those communities, my brother. I've seen your work. I've seen what you do. There's a lot of people around you, that you can work with to make those things happen. You don't have to rap, as you say. You don't have to be in the limelight. We don't need no leaders right now. I tell people, we don't need no leaders, and we have to worship on a pedestal. You
Yeah.
see, we don't need that anymore. That comes from that religious background where somebody have to be a hero. We don't need no heroes right now. All we have to do is to stay on our lane and do what we do. Stay on your lane. That's what you do. Make that happen. You know. And I will stay in my lane. This is what I will do. Let's make it happen. In that, we be able to cooperate together collectively to make certain things happen and something manifest. And that what manifests when we do it from our heart, it's very, very unshakable. You cannot shake that because there's nothing to shake it. There's nothing that shakes it because it's not physical.
Yeah.
You see, it's not physical, so you cannot shake it.
Wow.
It stays solid. And the only challenge we will have is to get the message out in the public is where the challenge is, because that type of message, the system doesn't want you to express that. You know, YouTube doesn't want you to express love for our communities. YouTube wants to see violence, how our brothers getting shot by another boy, and then you have this videos that's out there, millions of videos, how a black boy is getting shot by another black boy. You see, you have millions of videos of that, and they will have millions of views rather than something that's positive. You know, YouTube, iTunes, you know, Sony Music, all of those characters, they work for the system to bring our communities down, to play violence music. But when you bring a music, they will never promote that for our people. You see, so sometimes maybe we have to go directly to this type of companies and let them know this stuff. We have to go to YouTube or this company's headquarters and get mad. Bring the youth from the street and take them to the bloody companies and tell them, why are you fucking playing this music? I want you to stop any violence that is with our communities. I want this YouTube to stop it. We don't want this to be played and to kind of prolong the suffering and the pain when somebody's watching how we kill each other. But you see, the system is constructed with this racist concept. We have to be real.
Yeah, of course.
Anything that represents our community in a good light, it will never play in a good way. Anything that we do good, it will never be showing as the masses. So these corporation companies are responsible also for prolonging the pain, the suffering of our young generation. So we have to do things with love and with anger. That's why I said, spirituality doesn't mean just love and light and this and that. It was never that. It was never that. How can you let demonic energies affecting the whole life of millions of our communities, and all you say is love and light, and then you go meditate and stretch in your body, and that's it? To me, that's madness.
We have to, because with our with the organization that I'm currently a part of, we train for this self arms against knife, where we got boxers that train us. We got some mixed judo, martial arts. We got doctors coming in that teaches us how to deal with someone if someone gets stabbed. All types of forms that goes on in our community, and and even up to me personally, what I do personally is book some tickets to clay pigeon shooting. You see what I'm saying? Personally, you know, and we actually use what we have available for us to be in a strong position to handle any situation, you know, in the form of self-defense, for the public, in the form of self-defense. You see what I'm saying? So, but this is how we need to be on. We need to be like, we started off with discipline. This is what takes discipline is. This is what we need to be on. We don't need to be on anything else, like you're saying. we have love in our heart because we have love for our community. We can't love our community if we're watching ethnic groups kill them
Mm.
in cold blood, and us giving us, and love ain't forgiving, you know.
Mm.
Love ain't just forgive is like even up to the laws of Ma'at, you know, we have balance, you know,
Yeah.
justice has to be justice justice has to be served,
Yeah.
so that's how I feel, and
Nothing.
we need to implement that. We need to implement it, and we need to structure it in a way that the youth can see, you
Yeah.
know, because
Mm.
that's all what matters, and I think, like I said, like I keep on saying, you're definitely staying in your own lane. You're definitely playing a part, you know, and we all are. I think we can just build, and we can make this type of energy, this type of soul, this type of vibration more solid, where we can make it larger for, even if they don't want it, they don't want us to be out there in the mainstream. We're gonna kick down the door. We're gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna have to fight for it. And we're not like I'm not. My energy is so far energetic that there's nothing gonna stop me.
I don't.
And I can see that from you and how you're speaking as well, bro. It's like we just need to connect more with other people like-minded like us. We're gonna have different lanes and different ways that we're gonna do things, but we come together. Like you said, we don't need to have that one. We just need to have a movement. You
I
get what I'm
agree.
coming from?
Big time. Big time. And once, as long as we do it from our heart,
Yeah,
from the place of discipline, structure, understanding, that's all there is to it. Agreement, not contract. We have some type of agreement and say, this is what we're going to do. Let's make that happen. And this is the plan of action. Who's qualified to do that? Or who can we get that is qualified to come and do this aspect of it? Even if they need to get paid, we pay them, they do the work, and then you leave. But you have no power to what we're doing still. So as long as you're in control of this intention, it's all about intention. Intention building is so important in anything that we do. Like, what is the intention behind this? Oh, the intention is for this purpose. Okay, how can we achieve that? What's the intention of this? To make money. Okay, how can we achieve that? Period. If that's the case, you see, it's all about
yeah,
intention. Like, what is the purpose of this? Oh,
yeah,
to get more people in. Okay, that's the intention behind it. There's nothing else to
yeah.
it yet. Okay, let's make that happen. So
Um,
this is where we fail as a people and as organization, as communities who trying to achieve specific objective, is when we come together and first we appoint people that are not qualified, and two, we don't have some type of collective agreement that's physical, mental, and spiritual.
right.
Because when I say mental, physical, that means you need to be there. You need to come on time. You need to be doing this. You need to be doing that. You need to dress this way. You can't be slacking. You can't be stinking. You need to come right.
Yeah,
That's first thing. That's physical. When I say mental, that be there mentally. You're sitting there, don't go to sleep. Focus on the matters at hand. Let's discuss the thing that we deal with. Spiritual is bring your spirit, your energy into the game. Don't come up with a, discouraging energy around things when we build. So with this type of energy, trust me, we can build anything. When we are collective, trust me, bro, when we are collective, it's just going to be crazy. And the time is so good right now. And the time that we live, the day and time that we live, we have the freedom. There's a lot of energies, demonic energies that's off our shoulder. Not for sure. You see, this type of cycle that we're in, there's a lot of demonic energies there off our shoulders. We can achieve so much if we construct. And trust me, bro, I'm willing to come through in whatever you're doing, right? You
In
will see.
Brixton as well. The
I'm
thing
so
is, yeah, we're gonna
happy. I'm so happy
we're
me and you are having this conversation. When I have this conversation, I don't see nobody, by the way. I'm seeing you, my brother. I'm not talking for
yeah,
other people.
yeah,
I'm not in any platform. I'm actually
yeah,
having a conversation with you
yeah,
right now. I'm
yeah,
so happy to see
yeah,
your spirit like this. You
yeah.
see, so we can do so much things collectively,
Why
but
not?
once we have something in place, you say this is what we want. Trust
Yeah.
me, once we have that disciplined mindset, nothing can stop us to achieve our objective, and that's what it's all about right now. And let's not bring anything into personal issues. This is what we do sometimes. Childhood traumas, ego, I'm the righteous one. All those type of foolishness. always make us fail. And I've been in many organizations, many structures. I've sat in many meetings for hours and hours. I sat there and I've seen what didn't work. And that was a good lesson to me. I've seen what doesn't work in those type of structures where people generally comes together trying to achieve something, but it doesn't happen for specific reasons. And I sat down, I see how things fell. You see, I sat down, there's nothing I could have done. That was really a place for me to learn what not to do.
Right.
That was my purpose being there. It's like, okay, I shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be doing that. Was a lesson to me. But I've sat in many organizations that had emotion, organizations that just deal with emotion, organizations that deal with anger and all sort of issues, but they don't go to the primary issues why we're here. Ego and righteousness, all that concept of individuals has caused us a lot of problems and diminishing of great communities that was out there before. We've learned from those lessons. You know, people want to do everything themselves. You know, people don't want to delegate work. You know, you're not qualified for this. Why do you want to do that? You're not in this lane. Why do you want to get that? What you don't know? Like, why do you want to tell somebody that you don't know something? And this person has been doing this for 10 years. Now you're telling this person what to do, and you never done this before in your life. So we had all those sort of crazy issues in our communities where we're trying to achieve something. We've learned from those lessons. We learned from those mistakes. You see. So now we can say, okay, what can we do? What system can we set up? And we always failed. We always failed in our organization, in our communities, because we're not structured and we're not disciplined. And our intention was always something else than that. People want to be worshipped. People want to be on the pedestal, to want to be seen. You know, that's fine, but make sure you do your work properly. You can be seen, so good, but don't make that the primary cause of things. You know, don't make that your primary intention to things rather than something else. So we have these issues before where people want to be seen, people want to shine. No, shine within yourself and not let people acknowledge that rather than you want to shine in front of people without doing the work. I mean, the only thing we shine is when we overcome our demons. The only time we shine, the only time we become illuminated as the Illuminati, the only time we become illuminated is when we overcome our anger, our animal nature. Because once our animal nature is subdued, we start shining by default. You see, nobody have to tell you that, oh, you don't have to pretend to shine. Yeah. You shine by the sun doesn't pretend to shine, it just shines, isn't it? It rises and it shines for you. It doesn't have to pretend to be anything. And so we have to get back to the realness of life, to be honest with ourselves, you know, to be honest with ourselves and work on ourselves. And that is where our true potential within ourselves can come forth. You see, the word potentiality, potent. See, you have the word impotent, potentiality, potent. You see that word? It means power. But those powers come from within ourselves. They don't come from outside. They come from within ourselves when we align ourselves to our natural nature. And when we identify our nature, what is our nature? What is our tendencies? What makes us angry? What makes us this? What makes us lustful? What makes us deviate? So once we start learning the nature about ourselves, the animal nature about ourselves, and we start controlling these things, this different aspect of ourselves, then that's where we start shining by default. Until then, you know,
I think, you know what,
it's something
you've
else.
been dropping a lot of jewels. You're definitely dropping a lot of jewels. The thing is that we need episodes and episodes, because there's no way, like, it's going to be a one-off conversation between me and you. I wouldn't like that to be that way. I don't want you to just fully go in, because there's a lot of topics we can dissect, you know, and I think it's going to be very good, you know, very good both ways. So like I said, whatever position or anything that you might feel that Eazi could be a good position in, you're always welcome to shout me. I will slide through
No, but brother,
you know.
after this conversation, I have to go anyway very soon, but I have to. I will call you after this conversation. I will call you.
Yeah, because
I
yeah,
will call you. And then
I definitely I wanna.
we can have a conversation on some of the things I'm already having in my mind long time ago. We
Yeah,
just want people to come and just play their part. We have That's the thing right now. We have Sorry, I'm in this meditation center at the moment.
yeah.
I'm not sure who's coming
You're
in.
busy. I know you're busy as well. So definitely, yeah, yeah. If we could shout your thing and that, and then we can end it if you're busy.
What do you want me to shout my thing? What do you want me to? So we.
Shout, shout whatever you want to promote, like with your shop or your radio station,
Bro,
anything that you want the people to.
I'm promoting love. I'm
Yeah,
promoting love. I'm promoting let's make things happen in life. That's what I'm all about. I'm all about this. I'll be honest with you.
yeah,
People that know me for years,
yeah,
I have never changed for nothing. So
yeah.
one thing I'm always fighting myself is not to get corrupted by anything. So what I'm really promoting is love, and also have the courage. If somebody listen, have the courage, to come out of the spell that we're in, that you
Wow,
have to live for yourself. You don't have to
that's the
live
power.
for yourself. Just come and live for others. My success comes from living for others rather than for myself. That's how I succeeded in anything that I'm doing in my life, where I'm right now. Right, my success comes from living for others and with others and learning from others. That's where my lessons are. So you can find us on Instagram, Nete or health places and stuff like that. If you have health issues, we do all those consultations and stuff like that. We help people to rise. But people come through our door by guidance most of the time. So what I'm really
People are
here,
gonna, people are
what
gonna
I'm really
want.
here for, I'll be honest with you, it's just love, my brother. Easy.
Yeah.
I come here to talk about love. That's all. There's
But there's
nothing
the
else.
only 100%. But you know where it is, yeah. I know the energy you're coming from, 100%. But there's gonna be genuine people that have that love, that want to come and see you and support your shop
Yeah.
out of love. So
Okay, I
so so
appreciate that.
yeah, you
I appreciate that. And we
definitely.
have a lot of communities that knows
Yeah,
this. And I big up all our communities that come in all the way to support our mission. So
power.
without the communities, we wouldn't be here. Trust me, no, for sure. Without our communities that's coming with this intention, we wouldn't be here. We would be closed long time ago with all the issues that we had. So we always give thanks for that support that people are coming, just generally support this mission. So we can take the money and then we can open a place like this. Look, this is the place that the Heatlh is supporting. This is our meditation center. Easy, if you want to come do any type of project here, you're more than welcome to do this. And this is our
Going to.
space somewhere in Brixton where we promote culture, personal development, lifestyle, as well as some of the workshop that we're doing. I'm just going to write it down. It's called the Neter Mahat Center. If you're on Instagram, you can follow us as well. Okay. It's called
Definitely.
Neter Mahat Center. And this is the place where we promote and where we do some of the physical work. So we have all sort of activities going on here in our communities where we do yoga, Egyptian yoga, sister circles, healing our communities on all different subjects. We have youngsters learning chess, etc., etc. So this is where we are when it comes to some of the work. So the shop is supporting this place to facilitate, to heal our communities. So yeah, so come and support what we're doing. Be part of the solution rather than anything else. Be part of the solution rather than anything else. That's what I promote.
Yeah, mate. Salute to you. Like I said, you're
Thanks,
gonna
Bree.
shout me after. I want you to enjoy your day. It was a powerful convo, like it is, and it's gonna be many more. So
I
I want,
appreciate
yeah,
you.
shout me,
Thank you,
brother.
brother. Peace out, my
All right,
family.
blessings,
Yeah.
blessings. Yeah, yeah, that's bruv. And I think like Easy's closing. Hope people can, check out the shop, Brixton, everything is here. You know, whiskey shop that I can. There we go. So I'm gonna write it down in the link, and that's what it is. It's for me. This is like, a lot of people wake up, even up today, right now, outside Stratford, there's a church right there. A lot of people come, go church, you know, come to go church. Like, it's either that or be around environments. We need to conduct it in a little bit more when we utilizing a lot of our time. wake up early. We need to start doing things. Wake up early, discipline. You know, start going for jogs. Start utilizing our time a little bit more now. You know, I know the hard stresses of work, training down, and tiring out, yeah, of life makes us feel that we want to wake up late on Sundays and etc. But we need to start to implement a lot of these stuff. You know, like waking up early and actually maybe not even going to church. Start just doing meditation, yoga, exactly what this guy's promoting. You know, this is start utilizing it, man. Because like I said before, first form of that actually is mental, getting your mind right. You know, so yeah, easy gonna leave it at that. I think it was a beautiful conversation myself. You know, there ain't really too many people or or energies that will sit down and have conversations like that. Anyone can join easy if it's a productive, positive conversation about how we can unify, come to some type of solution based um conversation that can help our community, you know? So that's what it is, man. But Easy's gonna shout because you know you can hear it in my voice. I'm a little bit blocked up. I need to take all my sea moss and thing, you know, purposely must do that and get ready, you know. So salute to everyone that was on the chat, the people that stayed on, you know, you got three people, you know. Let me know who's on. Let me know who's on before I leave and I shut you up, man. Because obviously you definitely listen to the information, man. I appreciate that, man. A small following, but it's only gonna grow, you know. So, but salute to everyone that's gonna follow the path, yeah. Lessons, no questions, no none. Write down or screenshot location of the shop, the email address to the center. Check it all out. Easy herbs out. Blessings, yeah. Bless.